Hey guys, Carl from Repurposer Plays. Today I'm taking a look at Mechanica from Resonym Games and designers Mary Flanagan and Max Seidman. This is a tile-laying game with a bit of programming in which you're working to build the most efficient assembly line of robot vacuum cleaners in your factory in order to generate the most money by the end of the game. Disclaimer, I have been given a review copy of this game for this video, but with that being said, let's head down to the table to take a look at a solo playthrough, and then I'll meet you back up here to let you know what I think about the game. To set up a game of Mechanica, begin by opening the box. Remove the rulebook, and then give each player one of these player boards. As I'll be playing a solo game, I only need the one player board, and everything else can be set off to the side. Then lift this board, and underneath you'll find vaults. Each player is going to get one vault, and in this case I will also give one vault to the AI player over here. And the rest of those, again, can either be set aside or left in the box. This space will be used during the game, so I prefer to set them aside. And in addition, up here, we're going to need this token for the AI player. This card just marks the AI player in the solo game. And then I'm going to take one of these reminder player aids to help me remember what I need to do on each turn. The rest of those can stay in the box. Then place the board back on top, and the game itself is all set up to play. Now I say that, but realistically I set up the game at the end of the last game that I played. When I put everything back in the box, I placed 6 of the improvement tiles off to the side at random, and the rest of them have been shuffled and put back into here. Also, these goal cards have also been shuffled, and the top card has been turned over so that everything would be prepared for a game when I open the box. Now I will say that everything can stay in the box, but it's a little bit difficult for me to get the coins out of here and find the correct coins during gameplay. So I'm going to put them off to the side in this container right here. So to complete setup, I'm going to receive 8 coins, means a 5 and 3 ones for myself, and also a 5 and 3 ones for the AI player over here. Oops. I will also start with one of these white robots in the center fabricator on my player board. And with that, we're all set up to play a game of Mechanica. So a game of Mechanica is going to follow the steps shown right here on this card. So first we're going to start the workday, and what that means is every bot that we have on our factory are going to move to the next hole on our player board, and any improvements that we activate as those bots move, we're going to activate. Now it does say down here, and you'll see this come up in gameplay, if 2 bots ever end up at the same hole, one of them is destroyed, and you get to choose which of those goes back into the box. So after that's done, on your turn, you're going to follow these 4 steps in order. First, any bot that's in one of the trucks at the end of your player board can be sold at a value of 2 coins for a white bot, 4 coins for an orange bot, or 6 coins for a purple bot. Next, we can spend money to buy improvements. And I just realized I forgot one thing in the setup. We should be placing 1 improvement in the number 5 area on this board, and another improvement in the number 7 area on this board. So during this buy improvements step of the turn, I can spend any money I want to buy improvements from this board at the cost that's shown above the improvement. So this improvement at this point would cost 7 coins, and this improvement would cost 5 coins. And I can buy those and add them to my board. I can also at any time during my turn spend 1 coin to buy a fork, 3 coins to buy a big truck, which will hold 2 bots instead of 1, or 5 coins to buy a huge truck, which will take 3 bots instead of 1. After I'm done buying all of the bots that I want to buy, I then make new bots. And what that means is for every fabricator that I have on the left side of my player board, I'm going to create a new bot in that location. And then finally, we rotate the shop. And that means simply we spin this dial like this. Everything moves clockwise one space, which means the cost on the card goes down. However, if there's a piece in this 2-coin spot, when it rotates, it's going to fall into the hole. And when it falls into the hole, we're going to receive whatever bot it shows in this bottom right corner. So in this case, if this one fell into the hole, I would receive one orange bot. And we're going to put that bot in any empty hole that doesn't already have a bot on our player board, on this left side where the fabricators are. After my turn is finished, we're then going to pass to the AI. And on the AI's turn, it's going to take this token and it's going to flip it like a coin. If it lands with the blue side up, it will receive 1 coin and it will attempt to buy the cheapest improvement on the wheel. If it can buy the improvement, it will. If it cannot buy the improvement, it will receive another 4 coins for a total of 5 coins. If it lands with the yellow side facing up, it's going to receive 5 coins and it's going to attempt to buy the most expensive improvement, which will usually be the 7-coin improvement. If it can buy it, it does. If it cannot buy it, that is all that it does and its turn is over. So we're going to keep playing like this until all of the improvements have either been purchased or have fallen into the hole and there are no improvements left, which will trigger the end of the game. At the end of the game, we're going to score points based on the number of coins that we have both in our hand and in our vault, as well as the points that are printed on the tiles themselves. In my case, I will receive exactly what that point value is. So in this case, this would be a 4. For the AI, however, the AI is going to score 6 times this point value. So in this case, the AI would score 24 points for this improvement. Now the reason for that is, in addition to what I've already explained, we have these goal cards. And there are always 2 goal cards showing at any point. And during a turn, if I can discard these bots from one of my trucks or from several of my trucks, I will score the point value shown here by putting coins into my vault. So if I was able to do this, I could score 35 points. The AI will never score these bonus cards. As I mentioned, there are always 2 of them shown, and as soon as I trigger one of them, we're going to rotate it to the side to show that it's been triggered. And we're also going to rotate the other one to show that one of them has been triggered. I can still score this one on that turn, but at the end of the round, both of those cards will get placed to the bottom of the deck and will draw 2 new bonus goals. So that means even if I score only one of the 2 goals, they will be refreshed for the following round. And again, the AI cannot score these, which is why the AI is scoring 6 times the improvement point value. Also, it's worth mentioning that, as I said, these points are scored as coins that go into your vault. And once coins go into your vault, they will never come out again. Which means sometimes it's a good idea to sell your bots to make money to buy things, but other times it's worth cashing in your bots to get these higher point scores during the game. The only thing we haven't talked about now are the different types of improvements, and I'm going to explain those as they come up because it'll make more sense to you if you see them in action while we're playing the game. But for right now, let's talk about the 2 that are already out on the board. This one here is an upgrader. And an upgrader, what's going to happen is a bot's going to come in from the left side into that hole. And when it comes into that hole, that bot will be removed and placed back into the box. And the bot that is 1 level higher will be placed in this hole on the right. So in the next round, that upgraded bot will continue its journey towards the trucks. That means if you have a white bot that goes here, you'll create an orange bot. And if you have an orange bot that ends up here, you'll create a purple bot. This tile is a repurposer, and a repurposer is going to do it's going to give you the ability to change any two bots of anything into one bot of another thing. So it doesn't matter what comes in, but as soon as this is loaded with two bots, those two bots will be removed and you can replace them with any bot of your choice. So you could potentially use this to turn two white bots into one purple bot, which is the best way you could use this. But if you're looking to get a specific bot for a goal card, you may end up choosing an orange bot instead. So I hope you've got a general idea of how the game plays, but let's go ahead and get started with the game, and I'll explain things as they come up as we play. So again, at the beginning of a round, every bot we have moves forward one hole. In this case, we have nothing on the board, so this is going to go all the way to the end into my small truck. And now I have the ability to sell bots. I could sell this white bot for $2, and none of my goals need white bots right now, so that may not be a bad idea. I would like to have an upgrader. Yes, and that costs me $5, right? The next spot is I can buy improvements, so I'm going to spend 5 coins to buy this upgrader. Now, when we add this to our player board, we can place this anywhere we'd like to on the player board. There is no restriction to placement so long as it fits. So I'm actually going to put it in this first row so that that white that we get every turn will be upgrading to orange. But I'm going to leave a space here because I may eventually want to redirect some of those white pieces so that they don't all become orange bots, because we might still need white bots for some of the goals. And I realized I said I was going to sell this and I didn't, so I am going to sell that and I will get 2 coins. I would have done that before purchasing, so I'll go a little bit slower in the next round. So now we make new bots. The only fabricator I have is this one. We make a white bot, and then we rotate the shop. After we rotate the shop, we do add one more tile or one more improvement into the 7 slot. This is a new tile, so let me explain what it does. This is a gift wrapper. The gift wrapper, basically, anytime a bot moves through this improvement, you're going to put $1 into your vault. So this is a really nice one to have early in your machine because it can score you lots of endgame points. But also if it makes it to the end, you're going to get a free purple for this, so that's pretty good. And it's worth 2 points as well, so that's not horrible. Let's put that there. Now we do need to be careful. I may have made a small mistake. I'm not very good at paying attention to the AI's points, but this is a 4-pointer, means this is a 24-point tile for the AI. So I'm kind of hoping that he flips a yellow this round, but let's see what happens. Indeed, that's a yellow. So he gets 5 coins, and he's going to make a purchase for the most expensive one, which is this 7. So he will spend 7 coins into there, and he will take this improvement. Again, he doesn't do anything with the improvements, just holding on to them to score points at the end of the game. And just like I do, this rotates, and we add a tile. And the tile we're adding is another gift wrapper, which could be nice because I wouldn't mind one of those. So we've got this bot slides here. It stops at the first hole. This is an upgrader. Means the white now becomes an orange, but stops there. It doesn't move to the next hole until the next round. So I only have 5 coins. I can't buy that gift wrapper. And I don't necessarily want a repurposer. So I think for this turn, I'm going to spend 3 coins to buy a big truck so I can hold more than one bot at this truck at the end here. We will make new bots. This goes here. We rotate this and we add this. And I just realized that's a mistake. That shouldn't be in there. Sorry, that's a fork. It should have been here. So the next one that comes out is our first fabricator. This is called an overactive fabricator. An overactive fabricator, what this is going to do is, you have a choice every time you make bots to either make an orange bot or a purple bot. In the multiplayer game, when you make an orange bot, you give everyone else a white bot, or when you make a purple bot, you give everyone else an orange bot. But in this case, the AI does not get any bots. So what you're going to do instead is, if you make an orange bot, the AI gets 1 coin. If you make a purple bot, the AI gets 5 coins. And I just realized I didn't buy that 4-pointer, so we may be in trouble again, but let's see what happens. I flip the coin, it lands yellow again. He takes 5. And he's going to buy that fabricator, so I'll put 10 back and take 3 coins. This comes out. We rotate, and this goes in. This is another one of those repurposers, so that will go there. Again, this is another 4-pointer. So on the next turn, this is going to fall in. He might get that. No, he can't. On the next turn, this will be here, and this will be here. And I'll put something in 7. So this will be the lowest, and that will be the highest. Unless I buy that, which might happen. But before we get ahead of ourselves, this moves into the truck. And this goes here and gets upgraded into an orange. All right, I only have $2. So I would like to make some money. I'm going to sell off this orange one to get $4. And then, I really like that gift wrapper, but I don't want him to get that repurposer. Yeah, I'm going to buy it anyway. No. There's 2 points. I'm going to skip. I'll pass for this round. What's going to happen here now is that this is going to fall into the hole, and we see in the corner there's an orange bot. So after we make new bots, which is I should have done before rotating that, that fell into the hole means I get an orange bot. So I will put an orange bot up here in this empty spot. And again, we place a tile here. And the AI takes its turn. Again, yellow. We take a 5. He spends 7 to buy this upgrader. And that goes there. We rotate that. And this goes here. Ooh, that's another gift wrapper. Now, I noticed the AI only has 2 coins. But he'll have a 3rd on his turn. I kind of want that gift wrapper, but let's move. This bot comes here, this bot comes here, this bot goes here and gets upgraded. I don't have any ability to do any of these. I still need some purple bots, which I don't have the ability to do right now unless I had a repurposer, but I don't really have that ability yet. I'm going to let this fall to get that purple bot. And yeah, I'm going to buy that repurposer so he can't have it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, before I do that, let me sell one of these. Yeah, I'm going to sell an orange for 4. And then I will spend those 4 coins to buy this repurposer. And I'm actually going to put that up here, up top. And then I'm going to spend 1 coin to buy a fork. And now this fork I'm going to put right here, which means from now on, whenever that white bot comes this way, I have the ability to go up or forward, right? I have a fork. It's a choice I get to make whether that goes up or forward. So I could send it up into the repurposer, or I could send it into the upgrader, and that's going to be important. So we'll see how that plays out. Then we build our bots. We get a white bot there. And then I spin this. This is going to fall in, which gets me a purple bot, which is great. And I'm going to put that down here so it doesn't go into the repurposer. Yes. We replace that tile. Again, with one of those overactive fabricators. I would really love to have that. So we'll see if he flips a blue this time, it would be great. And of course he doesn't, it's a yellow, and he's got +5, and this too is 7. He takes that fabricator. This rotates. We place another tile here. All right, this is a new tile. This one is called the flight tester. And what this does is when a bot comes into this spot, this arm is going to throw that bot as far forward on that straight line as you would like it to. And if it passes over any improvements as it's flying, then you will get 1 coin to place into your vault. It also becomes 2 orange bots if it falls into the hole at the bottom. All right, so now we move bots. This one comes down here. This one I'm going to send up into the repurposer, and this one's going to come over here. I'm aiming to get this goal, which needs an orange and 2 purple. I've got an orange and a purple. And in 2 more turns, I will have that purple if I send 1 more white up there. I'm going to sell 1 orange just because I don't need it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm actually going to immediately spend that 4 to buy this gift wrapper. And I will put that here. Yes. And that's it for me for now. And I'm going to, yes, rotate this, add 1 more. And here's a regular fabricator. This is an advanced fabricator. This is basically the same as the one we started with. It just adds 1 more fabricator, and it's just making white bots like the one we already have. So that can go right there. And the AI takes its turn. It flips, again, yellow. Means it gets 5 coins, but it cannot buy this 7 for 5, so that's it. This rotates. We add a coin. I did just realize I forgot to make a bot on my last turn. So there should be 1 white bot there. Okay, so then we run our factory. This is coming up into here. Now I have 2 of them in the repurposer. They go away, and I'm going to turn that into a purple bot, but nothing happens for now. I would really like to get that fabricator because I need more bots moving on my board. So I'm going to spend 5 to take that fabricator, and I will put that up here at the top. Now I did realize I forgot to mention what this one does. This is a static charger. And what's going to happen is anytime a bot moves through this, we're going to create 1 white bot on one of these holes. It can hold up to 2 white bots before they move off. So if 3 bots move through here, you will not generate a 3rd bot, but you can generate twice per round as something moves through. So that's my turn. We generate now 2 white bots, 1 here and 1 here. It's also worth noting the advanced fabricator has 1 extra hole here, so if I did get a bot from a tile falling in or from something else, there is a space for it to go right there. So we rotate this, we add 1 more tile, and we've got another advanced fabricator. All right, the bot goes. This time we get our first blue, means he takes 1 coin and then spends 3. So I'll put a 5 and get these 2 back to buy this one. This rotates, and we add another tile. This time we have a downgrader. A downgrader is going to take 1 bot, and then it's going to remove that bot and create 3 bots of 1 step down. So if a purple one comes here, we create 3 orange. And if an orange one comes here, we create 3 white. So that's a great way to build a whole lot of bots very quickly. Let's put that there. Unfortunately, I don't have any money right now, but let's run this and see what happens. Purple comes here. I'm going to send this white up here and move this white in here, so we instantly generate 1 more purple. And now I could sell something to make some money to get something. Yeah, I think I should. I'll hold off on the bonus 1 more round. I'm going to sell this purple to get 6 coins. And I'm going to spend 1 of those to get this fabricator because I need to start making stuff quickly. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to buy another fork. And I want to put this fork here because 2 reasons. Number 1, I have a bigger truck that can hold more here. But also, every time something goes through here, I'm going to get a coin in my vault. And that would be nice to have. So this rotates forward. we add a tile. I flip, I got a blue, 1 coin. He can buy the 3, so he's spending 3 to buy this static charger. This rotates forward. We put this here. Ah, this is a nice one. This is a duplicator. A duplicator takes 1 of any color and makes 2 of that same color. Of course, eliminating the one that came in. So you're basically copying whatever you put into there. I really like that, and it's going to be very nice to have, but I don't have any money right now. I did realize I forgot again in the last round to place new bots. So I should have 3 white bots here. This one slides down to my truck. And now I have some options. I'm going to put this here again and this here again to create a purple. And then this one is going to follow this path, which gets me a coin into my vault. And, yeah, creates a white bot here in my truck. So I'm going to sell this white bot for $2. Steal that money out of there. And then I'm going to cash in 2 purples and an orange to make 20, 30, 5, and they all go in my vault. And now, as I said, both of these get rotated. And now I can buy something, but I only have 2 coins, so I'm going to hold off for now. So next step is creating bots again. 1, 2, 3. I rotate this board. I add 1 more. Another static charger, that's the one that creates whites every time something goes through. We flip for the enemy. He gets a yellow, which gets him 5, but again, he wants to buy the highest one, which is 7. He cannot, so that's his turn. This rotates. Now I can see coming up, if I don't buy this downgrader, I will get a free purple, which will be great to have. I don't know what's coming out here until the end of the round, which actually happened right now. So we're gonna flip these. And this one, oh, I need 2 whites and a purple for 20 points. Or I need 2 whites and 2 oranges for 30 points. I don't have a lot of orange opportunity. So let's run my factory and see what happens. This comes here. This comes here. I'm going to send this straight this time to turn that one into an orange. This one goes straight, and I'm going to send it up and through to get me a coin. Now, a white, 2 whites and a purple could happen next turn if I don't sell anything. Actually, I can sell because I have a purple coming from this. So I'm going to sell this purple for 6. And then I would not mind a duplicator. Yes, I'm going to spend 4 to get this duplicator. And I'm going to put it here. No, that doesn't work. But it will. If I flip this card, this nice directions will change if I rotate this. So I'm going to place it this way. Because now every time I make a purple, I make 2 purples. One will go here and one will go down into the center, which is going to get me $1. The problem is I only have space for 2 things there, so I need to start paying attention and being careful about that, but that's fine. So now we build our bots. White, white, white. We rotate this. This is going to fall in, getting me a purple bot, which I'm going to put here. Just realized I should have sold that, but I didn't, so that's too bad. I'm going to place another one of these. This is another advanced fabricator right there. The AI takes its turn. It flips, it gets blue, means 1 coin. It can easily buy this for 2. And then this rotates. And we add another downgrader. All right, so now my factory plays out. This comes over and that turns to a purple bot. Then orange goes through here, gets me 1 coin. I'm gonna have the purple go straight there. White is gonna go up and through here to get me another coin, but there's no space for it, so it's destroyed because I'd rather lose that than lose the orange. And that means this one comes through here and gets upgraded to an orange bot. All right, now, I don't have any whites. That was a mistake. Yeah, you know what? Let me do that. That's white killed the orange instead. Now I have 2 whites and a purple. I don't know if that's a good idea at this point, but yes, whatever. I'm going to get rid of those 3 to activate this card, which gets me 20 coins. So I'll put a 20 in there. Those both get turned sideways to trigger the change at the end of the round. I've got $5 to spend if I want to. Yeah, I'm gonna spend 5 to increase. Let's see, a white's gonna go there. The orange is gonna go there. The purple eventually goes here and here. That means I don't need to spend the whole. I'm going to spend 2 coins to upgrade from a 3 to a 5 and make this a huge truck. So now I can hold 3 things there. Then we build our bots. 1, 2, and 3. We rotate this, and we add this tile, which is another repurposer, and the AI takes its turn. We get a yellow, means we add a 5, and it's going to buy this repurposer for 7. So we get 3 back, and I run my machine. This comes here, which gets duplicated, means 1 goes here, 1 goes here. Orange goes through my gift wrapper, getting me 1 coin in my vault. This white is going to come here and stop. This white is going to, yeah, I'll make an orange. No, it's late in the game. I changed my mind. That white goes up top. These 2 make a purple again. This white one goes through to here, passing through the gift wrapper and getting me 1 coin. And then we rebuild 1, 2, and 3. And that is my turn. We rotate this shop, which gets me an orange. And I will put that orange here. And we place a tile in the 7. This is our last tile. It's another flight tester. Means when all 3 of these have either been purchased or fallen into the hole, the game will be over. Now the AI takes its turn. It gets a blue, 1 coin. It spends 3 coins to buy this. Rotates this, and there's nothing to be added. So now it is my turn. These are going to change. And I would really love to be able to score 1 more time before the end, because these are going to be worth a lot of points. Well, maybe not. White and purple for 10 is not great. Here we go. 2 purples for 20, which is perfect. Because now we run my machine. This comes here. This goes down here and over, which means I get a coin. This one comes here and gets duplicated. This one is going to come here. I don't know if I'm going to have much more turn-wise. So this one I will send here because we're going to run out of time. So that turns into an orange. This one goes straight through to here. And this one's going to go straight through this way. Again, there's no space for it, but I get a coin for passing through my gift wrapper. Now, I'm going to spend both of these purples to get 20 points. So we'll place a 20 in my vault. And I only have 3 coins. And actually, I don't want to buy anything. Buying this is going to keep him from getting it, but it's also going to end the game faster. And I'd like to get these purples to the end. There's a chance that I might score one of these, and even if I don't, I can sell them all off because the coins are worth points at the end, and those are both 6 coins. So that's worth it. So I'm ending my turn there. Yes, so we make new bots. 1, 2, 3. Now, I just noticed this is here. Means, if he buys this, we've got one more turn. If he buys this, this is going to fall in, and that will trigger the end of the game. So I really am hoping for a blue to come up, but we'll see what happens. It's off camera, I think. Nope, it's there. It is a blue. I got lucky. He gets 1 coin and spends those 2 to get this. This will rotate. Now, these get flipped. I would be lucky if I got something that would help me. 2 whites, an orange, and a purple. That's doable. An orange and a white. All right, then let's run. This comes here. This comes here and gets me $1 for going through my machine. This one is going through, but I want that white and I want that purple, so I'm going to trash that, but I'll take a 1 for my gift wrapping. This one moves in here and that becomes a purple. This one, whatever, goes here and becomes an orange. And this one I need, so I'm going to kill this orange to get a white. So I'm going to spend 3 coins to buy this because I don't want him to have that. So that's the end of the game. But I'm also going to use a purple, an orange, and 2 whites to take 30 coins. In the multiplayer game, you would finish the round when all of the tiles are gone, but in the solo, as soon as it's empty, that triggers the end of the game immediately. So now we go into scoring. So unfortunately, I just realized I made a bit of a mistake. I should have sold this on my selling turn, and I'm going to do that now just because I know I could have and I should have. So I have 6 coins there. All right, so now we go into scoring. So we start off by returning these. These don't count for anything at the end of the game. The only thing we score points for are our coins and any points on these tiles. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points from there. 17, 18, 28, 38, 48, 58, 68, 78, 88, 108, 118, 120, 125, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 132. So I have a score of 132. Now the AI scores, remember, 6 times whatever we have here. So 2 plus 4 is 6, and 1 is 7, and 1 is 8, and 3 is 11, and 1 is 12, and 2 is 14, 1 is 15, 2 is 17, and 3 is 20. So he scores 120 points from there. He has no coins left and no coins in his vault. So I am the winner, 132 to 120. Now, while we're down here, I do like to take a look at components of games. I generally do the insert last, but since it's already on the table in clear view, I'm going to start with the insert because the insert here is basically the game, right? At the end of the game right now, what I'm going to need to do is I will take these 6 tiles, I'm going to shuffle them with these, I will choose out 6 at random to place back into here. These extras are only used in high player games. And then the rest of the improvements get randomly placed back in there. The forks go back in here, the trucks go back in here. These get shuffled, split in half, and the top one gets flipped over. And then everything is prepped for the next game. It's really, really nice, very clever insert that really works well. Also, it stores everything nicely. This also is the drop for the tiles there, which I think is really cool, really clever. I love this spinning board. It really adds to the flavor of the game. And as I said, I am very much a big fan of the way that this insert not only holds the game very well, but also makes the game play. The game uses this insert while you're playing the game. There's very little setup because it's already set up in the box, and I like that. If I'm going to complain about anything at all about this insert, it's this right here. You already saw while I was playing, I was digging a little bit to find the right bots in this space. But that's not really a hassle because the colors are there, the shapes are very different. It's easy to see what I'm reaching for and digging them out. When the coins are inside this hole, you can see it's really, really, really packed and crowded. And it's really hard for me to pull out what I need from there. If I want to find a single coin or a 5 buried amongst this mess of coins, it's really difficult for me to pull out the coins. So you really need to put them in something else, or you're just going to be digging and digging and digging and digging every time you go in there. So this is the only piece that bothers me a little. I almost wish they'd done it separately for each coin or found a way to stack them in a certain way that I can pull out the ones that I need easier. But it is what it is, and for the most part, I really like this insert. The pieces themselves, the game, this board is great with this recessed piece, how all of the pieces have different puzzle pieces, how the puzzle pieces lock together and join together, how the tabs that go up and down are actually different paths for the bots to change, the paths that they're moving down. I really, really, really like the components. The tiles are nice and thick. The puzzle pieces fit very well. There's never a struggle to put anything in here. Nothing's going to move around because it's all nice and locked in on the recessed board. This is a very, very nice piece to this game. The vaults are a little bit silly. I mean, there's no real need for them except that you have money that can't be spent, so it's a good way to keep them. However, thematically, they look really cool. They function very well, and it does a great job of hiding how much money you have, especially in a multiplayer game. Nobody else could see how much money is in your vault. So it sort of keeps that who's the winner until the end of the game, which is great to me because I always love to find out who the winner is at the end of the game rather than feeling halfway through the game that there's no way for me to ever catch up. So I like these pieces. Again, they're not really necessary, but there's a perfectly good space for them in the box, and they just bring a nice character to the game. So I like to see these in there. This card is marking the first player, but it's also going to... The game thematically says in the turn when we all generate robots, you're supposed to press this button. And when you press this button, it's supposed to be starting the factory to build the bots. And that's kind of cute. I mean, it's kind of silly. It doesn't really do anything. But thematically, this game is very, very well created. It's very clever, tongue-in-cheek kind of story about bots taking over the world. But here you are running a factory to build those bots. And they're all vacuums. I didn't point that out. But these are all like Roomba-style robot vacuums that you're creating that are supposed to be slowly becoming sentient. And there's this little story to it, and it's kind of cute. So there is a button here. You're supposed to press this button to generate the robots. There's actually an app. And yeah, actually, I'll go ahead and put a pop-up in the corner right now to show you how that works. But the app, when you push the button, it actually plays a little bit of a dialogue. And you see the arm moving, and it adds a little bit more flavor.
If you do not have a tidybot in your home, you are in violation of your contract. You ran your factories already? I underestimated you. I didn't think that was possible. Ha ha.
And while we're talking about apps, there's one more app that I want to show you And I'll do that as well up here in the corner right now. There's another app that's an AR app that actually lets you scan the tiles. And as I'm talking, you should be seeing this up in the corner. It lets you scan the tiles, and it's actually showing through animation on top of the tile what is happening with that tile, or what kind of ability that tile gives you. And I think this is really, really cool, and it adds a ton of flavor to the game. It takes a lot of time, and it's probably not working perfectly, but it works way more than well enough to show you what's happening. It really helps clarify the rules without digging in the rulebook to look for specific explanations for each tile, when I can just pull out this app and scan it. Once you understand how the game plays and how things work, you're not going to need that app. But for the first few plays, it's super helpful, and I think it's really well done and very cleanly executed. And it all ties in all of this theme, and I really like that app. So that's basically it for the components. Meet me back up top, and I'll tell you what I think about the game. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. I do apologize for the flub at the end of the game, which likely affected the outcome of the game, but it shouldn't have affected at all the way the game was playing, so I hope you still got a good idea of how this game works and what kind of a game this is. And with all that being said, let's get into what I think about this game. I'm actually going to push aside the gameplay for just a second and take a look first at sort of the art direction, the graphic design, the theme of this game, because it's those things that pushed me to reach out to the publisher to request a review copy of this game, because I really enjoy the way this game looks and the way this game feels. It's got this really cool tongue-in-cheek, humorous look at this is a factory that produces basically Roombas, right? Robot vacuum cleaners. But there's this twist that sort of, there's this evil AI in the background that's having the humans build these things because the robots can't build themselves, but with the express purpose that eventually there's going to be one of these vacuums in every home in the world, and they're all going to sort of rise up and take over the world. And I think that little bit of twist of humor and that theme here really goes a long way. You can tell that there was a lot of love put into this game. The art direction on this is great. It oozes that feeling of sort of a 1950s futuristic technology advertisement that you see, like old pictures of world fairs and those kinds of things. Welcome to the future. Here's the technology of the future. And the art in this is exactly that. The colors pop. It's this sort of real nice pop art style, and I love the way the game looks. I love the way the game is themed. Does it come into the gameplay? We'll talk about that, because it could just be any sort of factory style game. It could have been a factory where you're making food. It could have been a factory where you're making cars. It could have just been a factory that made robots. But the idea that it's not just robots, it's not just a robot uprising, which is certainly something we've seen before, but the fact that it's a robot vacuum cleaner that's going to be doing this uprising, I just love this sort of humorous tongue-in-cheek twist. And it makes the game stand out for reasons of theming and for reasons of art and design, and I like that a lot. But with all that being said, it is a game, and the reason you're here today is to find out, is it a good game? Do I enjoy the way the game plays? So let's get into that. This is a bit of a programming game, but not in a way that most programming games work, in that you're laying down a set of cards and you're following the program that you put down. In this case, you're actually physically building a sort of factory assembly line conveyor belt system. And every time you're adding to that, you're changing the way things are working and where these bots are going to go as they move from assembly to the trucks to take them out to be sold. And you really have to think about, as you're laying these down, what am I going to be doing in the future so that all of these things fit together in a way that gives me the best efficiency engine at the end of the game. So in a way, it's also an engine building game. Now, you can't destroy anything in your system, but you could always, I didn't do that in my playthrough, but you can buy pieces and swap them in for things that you've already got. So there is a way to fix mistakes later in the game. But realistically, I'm not sure if that's a smart thing or not, because every time you lose something, you're losing points anyway. So you really have to sort of plan out what the best pathway is to build the best efficiency engine by the end of the game. But every time you play, you take out 6 of those improvement tiles at random. And then the order that those tiles are coming out, of course, is also random. So there's a bit of planning you can do ahead, but this is also a very big tactical decision space. And I've said this before, I prefer this turn-by-turn tactical decision to a long-term strategic planning. So to me, I enjoy that. I like that there's a random element, but the random element is still, of these however many improvement pieces could come out, one of them is going to come out. So there's some random, but there's also, you have an idea of what kinds of things might be coming in the future. So you can plan what you're hoping to see, but you still have to make adjustments based on what is actually coming out. There's also the nice ability to sort of think about different ways to score points in this game, because you could be focused on the sort of higher level bots. You could be aiming to score those bonus gold cards, because those bonus gold cards will give you a whole lot of points. Or realistically, you could buy a lot of huge trucks that give you a lot of capacity to store bots. You can start pumping out lots of lower level bots and selling them off and selling them off and selling them off to make a ton of cash that way, which scores you points. You could start aiming at buying improvements that have high point values on the improvements themselves to earn lots of cash. If you do that, pumping out lots of bots, you could also use those improvements that every time something comes through, you get more cash, like I had with the gift wrapper. Or every time something goes through, you get more of those white bots being pushed out. And in that case, again, massive amounts of bots for small, even small points. If you've got enough of them coming out all the time and you've got the truck space to hold them, that's another viable option for point scoring. But like I said, you could focus on lots of purple, because they're worth a lot. And a lot of those bonus gold cards that score off purple score a lot of points. But you can't really focus on any one of those alone. You kind of have to have at least a little bit of everything. And also those bonus gold cards, you don't know what they are until the following round. So you kind of have to plan on having a bit of a variety in your factory as well, so that you definitely have a white, you definitely have an orange, and you definitely have a purple, so that you can sort of meet any goal that comes out. So there's a lot of this thought that needs to be going on during the game. Now, I did play this as a solo game, so I am reviewing this as a solo game. So let's talk about the solo mode. The solo mode is the AI. And there is actually quite a bit here. I do like the system of the AI. Yes, it's based on a coin toss, of course, but what that means is basically the AI is going to take one or another choice. It's either going to get a little bit of money and try and buy something cheap, and if it can't, then get a little bit more money, or it's going to get a lot of money and try and buy something expensive. And I can plan, looking at that wheel, which of these two tiles it might take. Are those tiles worth a lot of money? Because remember, the AI scores 6 times whatever the tile value is. And that's going to be a lot of points. If he picks up a 4-point tile, that's going to be a 24-point tile for the AI, and that's a lot. So it is worth it for me to pay attention to those tiles and sometimes just take out tiles or buy tiles that I don't want the AI to have. So that's something else you need to focus on. Not only am I buying things for myself, but I'm buying things to prevent the AI from getting them. But sometimes it's also worth risking it, not hoping that the AI doesn't get a tile, and then letting it fall into the hole, because if it can fall into the hole on my turn, then I get a free bot added to my system and I didn't have to pay anything at all for that. So sometimes it's worth pushing your luck to get those free bots as those tiles drop in. And if those tiles drop in on the AI's turn, they don't get anything at all. So that's not going to hurt you in that case. You just have to hope that they're not buying one of those really high point value tiles. So I really like that system, and the scores tend to be pretty good. Now, there are a couple things that I do need to talk about that are negative here. And the first one is the randomness. I did say I enjoy the randomness for the tactical decisions it brings. But there are some times when the randomness is so random that, say for example, I don't get any fabricators. So all I'm producing in my factory is that single bot that I started with. And if I don't have any duplicators, or if I don't have anything that allows me to split and make more of something, then there's just literally no way for me to score any points. So I really have to make sure that, well, I can't even make sure. I have to hope that I don't get put into a situation where a bunch of stuff comes out in a row that just doesn't work together. And that's a bit of a negative. Now, the game is not super long. And if this does happen, you can just sort of reset and start over. It is a solo game. Nobody's really going to dock you for quitting midway through a game. But that is something you want to think about. If you don't like randomness affecting the game in the way that it's going to affect in this game, you may not enjoy this game. The other thing I'm going to say is there are not a whole lot of improvements in this game, meaning those tiles that you can put into your player board. So there's not a whole lot of variability in the game. And the goal is always going to be score more points than the AI. So if you're buying this as a solo game only, I'm not sure that I can recommend it strictly for that. I have a lot of fun playing this as a solo game, but it is the same game I'm playing every single time. And if I just bought this for a solo game and I wanted to play it a lot, I might burn out pretty quickly because there's not a lot of variability here. Now, as a multiplayer game, you are going to have different players you're playing with. They're going to have different strategies. You're going to be competing with them for tiles. You're also going to be getting bots when the multiplayer or when the other players are using that fabricator that gives other people things. So there is a little bit more here in multiplayer. And there's also an expansion. I don't know much about the expansion because from what I understand, it's not usable with the solo game, but I think that also adds quite a bit more variability for the multiplayer game. So if you are interested in a multiplayer game that also plays solo, I would definitely recommend you check this out. The theme is cool. The mechanics are cool. Just the idea and the gimmick here. Yes, I call it a gimmick, but it's a really cool and a really clever gimmick with the spinning dial and the puzzle piece player board. There's a lot here. So again, if you like multiplayer, if you're gonna pick up a multiplayer game that also has a good solo mode, the solo mode is not bad. I definitely recommend you at least look more into this game if it looks interesting to you because it is a lot of fun. But if you are looking for a solo main experience and you're buying this for a solo game, I'm not sure that I would recommend this unless you are okay with a game that you only play every once in a while that's a fun little distraction. Because again, if you play too much of this game, it's probably going to get to feel samey pretty quickly, and I don't know if I would recommend it for that reason. But again, it is a lot of fun. Definitely check it out if it looks like something you'd be interested in. If you enjoyed this video, which I hope you did, please remember to like and subscribe below, and I'll see you next time.